This meeting to order. Ooh, that works. Excellent.
Do you want me a second?
1 second. Good evening. Thank you. I apologize. There's been a minute since I've been in the classroom. I would like to call this meeting to order. Before we continue, Ms. Van Hook, can you hear us?
I can. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Thank you. We would like to thank music teacher Jeremy Brewer and the trash can bands from Power Ranch, Bridges, and Coronado Elementary Schools for such an energetic and welcoming performance as we arrive tonight. And Mr. Lotzenheiser, may I have roll call, please?
President Wade, members of the board, let the record show that we have all of our board members in attendance tonight, 4 in person here and 1 via the phone.
Thank you. Please join me in a moment of silence, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. I motion to approve the agenda. That would be Ms. Jarman is seconding. Do we vote on that in here? Can we just verbally vote for right now while that comes up, Ms. Zimmerman? Okay. I can't do it right now. Well, you'll have to do it now. That's fine. No worries. When it comes up, we'll do it, and then it'll be fine. Did you get it? I got it. Try to refresh. Mine doesn't show up, Ms. Zimmerman. Can I? Did you click on it? Yeah, I'll just verbally do it. I, for motioning, approve the agenda. Ms. Schultz also needs one. Go ahead. Aye. Ms. Schultz votes aye. Ms. Van Hook, how do you vote? Or is it on, did yours work online? Okay, perfect. Does that count? Do you have it? Yeah. So is it 5? Perfect. Motion carries 5-0. I appreciate it, everybody. Mine's not working. Mr. Lotzenheiser, we turn to you.
President Wade, members of the board, as we start our superintendent's report with Higley happenings tonight, I would like to ask the members of the audience, as we go through this tonight, there will be multiple different presentations, and we would appreciate you staying in the audience until there will be a time when then we dismiss you before we get to the business part of the meeting. So we would appreciate that if you could help us throughout. And just a reminder for those of you who are called to the front, you might be asked to share who you brought with you tonight. So just be prepared for that in case you get a microphone shoved in your face. But anyway, we'll just keep moving. All right, so for Higley happenings, first I would like to invite up the Higley High School Thespians. If you guys would come up to the front, please. While they're coming up, I'd like to just talk about this wonderful group from Higley High School. They have some exciting news from the recent annual Thespian State Festival. The Advance Company received a superior rating in the one-act competition. The Troop 697 achieved gold honors for the 7th consecutive year. Riley Close and Francisco Navarro served as student thespian officers, helped manage the event for nearly 2,700 attendees. And Higley High earned the Award of Distinguished for the 4th year, recognizing their community service and their performance quality among over 100 schools. In addition to this, our assistant principal from Higley High School, Pam Simmons, was named the Administrator of the Year. So could we give a round of applause to the thespians? All right, so here's what I'd like you to do. We'll just start on this end. Could you introduce yourself? We won't do who you brought with you tonight. It's too much. And then what year in school you are, and just pass it all the way down, please.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm Jay Burnett. I'm a senior at Higley High School.
I'm Karaya Thurston. I'm also a senior.
I'm Elizabeth Nevels, and I'm a senior.
I'm Zoe Bellarose. I'm also a senior.
I'm Lindsay French, and I'm a senior.
I'm Hank Cope, and I'm a senior.
I'm Jacob Ronalds, and I'm a junior.
I'm Sky Scarnetto. I'm a junior.
I'm Francisco Navarro. I'm also a junior.
I'm Riley Close, and I'm a senior.
I'm Sean Kelly, and I'm a senior.
I'm Zachary Ashton. I'm a senior.
I'm Cassidy Clifford. I'm a junior.
I'm Jack Slivka. I'm a junior.
I'm April French. I'm the troop director.
Pamela Simmons, assistant principal.
You know, I thought one group that would not be afraid of the microphone would be the thespians to come up here and you guys drape. April, if you could just say a few words about what happened at the conference, a little bit more.
Yeah, this is our annual conference that we go to. We have over 100 schools that come out from our state, and we have a 2-day event. So we have competitions, we have performances. They actually performed their one act, directed by Sean over here, and they got a superior. We have our gold troop status, which was taken care of by Francisco and Riley by putting together a massive application, which also helped us to get the award of distinction for the 4th year in a row. We're very proud of that. And even more, we are proud of our administrator, Pam Simmons. She does so much for us. She does so much for all the fine arts in the CTE. And we really do. We really appreciate you and everything that you do. And I appreciate all of you and all that you do. Thank you.
All right, we're going to have to get a picture, so I need everybody to back up. And the photo can you jump in? We need 2 rows, are we good? I'll just go stand there. Go up to the front. All right, for our next Higley happening, could I have Zara Boahena come to the front, please? Let's give her a round of applause. So we'd like to recognize Zara, a senior at Williamsfield High School, who achieved a remarkable honor by being selected as one of the 10 health occupation students of America to serve on the Voices of Youth Commission. This national role focuses on promoting safe and healthy drug-free communities. Zara just returned from a conference in Maryland and will participate in another in Tennessee this summer. She will also compete and implement a capstone project in our community. This prestigious recognition is a significant achievement for Zara and enhances the reputation of our HUSD chapter, school, and district in the medical and bioscience pathways. Well done, Zara. We're proud of your achievements. Let's give her a round of applause again. All right, so we have Zara and we have Mr. Brock, our HUSD sponsor. But Zara, can you tell us a little bit about your experience, please?
Yes, so I recently got back from my trip on Thursday, and it was in National Harbor, Maryland, and I went to CADCA's conference that promotes teen anti-drug use, and I met with a lot of teens across the nation, mostly in the mostly on the East Coast, but we went to some workshops to help us learn about how to look at community health and kind of like a holistic approach, and that some people being healthy means different things to everyone. And I met a lot of different people. A lot of the people who are on the committee with me are HUSD state officers in other states and are also on the International Executive Council. And it was overall just a really amazing opportunity to be able to, I guess, travel outside of the West Coast and see different perspectives.
Okay, since you're just by yourself, and who did you bring with you tonight?
Oh, I brought my HUSD advisor with me, Mr. Brock.
Okay.
Oh, Chris Bone, sorry.
All right. Emily, anyone else out there?
And my dad in the front.
All right, for our points of pride tonight, first from the Cooley Little Cougars, would Mrs. Coaches and Mrs. Hofstetler please come up? Here.
Thank you so much. We're so excited to be here tonight and celebrate these incredible individuals in our community. First, we have Miss Shelby Campazano. Come on up. Congratulations. Shelby is a dedicated and compassionate preschool paraeducator who consistently goes above and beyond to support her students and staff. She approaches even the most challenging, that is true, caseloads with grace and flexibility and a positive attitude, always willing to assist absolutely whenever possible. She is a collaborative team member who contributes to a safe, inclusive environment, and we could not do it without her. Congratulations, Shelby. And who did you bring with you?
My husband, kids, and my friend.
Congratulations, thank you. All right, our second is Miss Haley Fontes. Come on up, Miss Haley. I like how you're running up here. With child. Congratulations. Haley exemplifies professionalism, open-mindedness, and a solutions-oriented approach in everything she does. As a member of our leadership team, she leads technology initiatives and champions our annual Veterans Day event with our Cooley Middle School. Beginning her career here in HUSD preschools as a paraprofessional and now completing it as an incredible educator. Haley has also entrusted all 3 of her children with us in our ECDC centers. We are so proud of you. Congratulations. Thank you, Haley.
So I'm proud to announce our volunteer recipient, Nin Y. If she could join us. So Nin consistently supports and extends a generous presence in our school community. She regularly volunteers in the classroom during center celebrations and whenever extra support is needed. She goes above and beyond by not only supporting her own children, but by thoughtfully providing supplies and supports for teachers and paraprofessionals in both of her children's classrooms. Her kindness and generosity and willingness make her truly a valued partner, an important part of our school community. Thank you so much, Nin. And Nin, who have you brought with you today?
My husband and my 2 sons.
Congratulations. So if we could have Miss Turner and Athena come on down. She is our recipient for our student award. Yay, Athena! Yay. Thank you. So this is our wonderful, bright light, just brightens the room, Athena. She has a magnetic personality with her peers and staff. You light up the room, don't you, sweet girl? And you inspire growth in others. She has taught other students so much about being inclusive and having a positive outlook. She's taught her peers to understand that each individual is unique and an important addition to our preschool. She's have even learned how to communicate with her peers, as you can see, and to help her with her communication advice. She actively seeks out friends and ensures everyone feels like they belong. She often demonstrates empathy and compassion. So Mrs. Turner, who has she brought? Do you know her family? If you're Athena's family, would you wave? Hi, Athena's family. Congratulations. Thank you so much for all of our Cooley recipients tonight for our Points of Pride.
All right, now we have the Sossaman Little Spartans program.
All right. So we are going to start, there it goes, it's scrolling, with Miss Tracy Robertson. Come on up. Congratulations. Tracy is an outstanding paraprofessional in one of our special education classrooms and is a true asset to our school community. She consistently supports all students, especially those challenging behaviors, and she supports them with patience, compassion, and a deep love and understanding of their individual needs. Tracy's dedication, intuition, and heart for all makes her truly deserving of this. Congratulations, Tracy. And before I forget, who did you bring with you?
I actually brought my second family, the Sue Sossaman Early Childhood Development Girls. My Julie, my Nicole, and my Sammy. Love you.
Thank you. And next we have Miss Shell Blair. Shell is a shining example of excellence in the special education classroom and a tremendous asset to our school. She consistently demonstrates exceptional professionalism and deep knowledge of student development, behavior management, and effective interventions. She approaches every challenge with a positive solution, focus, and mindset. Beyond her classroom, she's a respected teacher and leader and mentor who's willing to share her expertise. We're so proud. Congratulations. And Michelle, who did you bring with you?
These superstars on the front row, my parents and my cute Autumn and Griff, and then of course our whole team. Thank you for coming.
So for our volunteer recipient, can we have Patty Chan join us? So Patty is a dedicated and enthusiastic volunteer who brings her energy, expertise, and positivity to our classroom. She jumps right in and leads games and centers, actively engaging students and supporting their learning. And the children genuinely love when she's present. Patty has a committed presence at our center for many years and has a strong passion for supporting our classrooms. As a former TEL coach for our preschool curriculum, she brings a valuable insight and experience. And her decision to enroll her grandson in our center reflects her confidence in our program. Patty consistently supports her grandson's classroom and makes a meaningful impact on both students and staff, and we're very fortunate to have her a part of our school community. So Patty, who have you brought with you tonight?
I brought my grandson, Atlas, and my husband and son and daughter-in-law. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Can we have Miss Krewall and Oliver Bashford join us tonight up here? Way to go, Oliver. So this is our Oliver. He is more than deserving of this Points of Pride Award. Through perseverance, determination, and hard work, Oliver has made incredible progress in a short period of time. Oliver consistently pushes himself to overcome challenges and does not give up when learning becomes difficult. He has developed meaningful friendships and navigates the playground independently and confidently advocates for himself. His kindness, positive attitude, sense of humor, such sense of humor, but our joyful personality brings warmth and laughter to the classroom every day. Oliver's growth, resilience, and character truly exemplify the spirit of the Points of Pride Award. Congratulations, Oliver. So if you're with Oliver tonight, can you give us a wave, Oliver's family? All right. And his sister helps as a middle school TA with us as well.
All right, could I have Mr. Pepper, Mrs. Hanson, come on down with the Chaparral Sharks?
All right. Good evening, President Wade. Where did she go? Oh, President Wade. Sorry, members of the board and cabinet and this awesome audience. I'm excited so many of you came out. I am Christine Hansen, proud principal of the Shark Tank.
And I'm Terry Pepper, assistant principal.
All right, so first up, we have our certified staff Points of Pride. Miss Anne Marie Nix, come on up. All right, Mrs. Nix consistently demonstrates strength in building positive collaborative relationships with families and general education teams, ensuring students receive the support they need to succeed both academically and socially. Her deep commitment to inclusive practices and her strong understanding of special education best practices guide her work each day. She actively pursues ongoing professional learning, most notably through her participation in letters, further elevating the quality of instruction and that she provides to her students. Her recognition by the special education department speaks not only to her professional excellence, but also to her leadership and willingness to support and mentor her colleagues. Mrs. Nix, we are so lucky to have you in the Shark Tank, and thank you. Congratulations.
All right. It's my pleasure to recognize our classified staff Points of Pride, Miss Meg Dunwitty. Miss Meg has quickly become a point of pride in our school community. Joining our campus in the second quarter of this year, she's already made a remarkable impact, bringing positivity, professionalism, and a genuine love for students to her role. From her first day, she's been a ray of sunshine, personable, approachable, and committed to getting to know the students, families, and staff she's served. Her dedication has extended far beyond the health office. She's volunteered her time and enthusiasm at numerous school and community events, including stepping into the role of Sammy the Shark for the Gilbert Day Parade, volunteering at our Winter Carnival, attending staff meetings and assemblies, and supporting our school action teams. She's provided extra layers of care for our staff by bringing home-baked goods and ensuring every restroom is stocked with Bath & Beyond hand soaps. Her presence uplifting and her sense of humor brings ease and comfort to those around her. Whether she's assisting a student who isn't feeling well or helping a staff member who has a question, she never seems bothered, only happy to help. She communicates clearly, stays visible and connected, and exemplifies what it means to be a team player. We are proud to recognize her as a true point of pride.
I apologize, I forgot the most important part. Mrs. Nix, who did you bring with you this evening?
My husband, Jeff, and fellow chaparral Shocks.
And Miss Meg, who did you bring?
Well, I brought my wonderful son, Seth, who traveled down with us. We recently just relocated from Seattle, Washington in August, and I absolutely love it here. I'm never leaving.
Thank you. All right, next we have our volunteer points of pride, Miss Andrea Klitsky. Andrea is our PTO president, and she is an exceptional PTO president whose leadership has made a remarkable impact on our school community. She's personable, professional, and consistently prepared. She leads efficient and purposeful meetings that keep our organization focused and productive. She has cultivated strong partnerships with local businesses, bringing valuable resources and support to our campus for the benefit of both students and staff. She actively engages with fellow HUSD PTOs, sharing best practices and leading by example of our district motto, "Together we got this." So Mrs. Klitsky, you have elevated our PTO and enriched our experience for every student and staff that you serve, and you are truly deserving of this recognition. Congratulations. And who did you bring with you this evening?
I brought my husband and a few of my kids.
In the back. All right. Awesome.
All right, and last but certainly not least, our student points of pride is Mr. Braden Batista. Braden is an outstanding sixth grade leader whose actions, character, and commitment to our school community makes him truly deserving of this recognition. As a dedicated member of our Student Lighthouse team, he plays an integral role in planning and leading school-wide activities, including our Super Shark Assemblies, Veterans Day Breakfast, and Leadership Day. His presence brings confidence, organization, and a sense of fun to every event he supports. He is consistently responsible, polite, and respectful, demonstrating leadership not only when others are watching, but also in the quiet moments when he believes no one notices. His positive choices and integrity set a powerful example for his peers. And a fun fact about Braden is that he and his younger brother, Bryce, currently hold the distinction of being the only sibling parent chaparral with perfect attendance currently. We are very proud to honor Braden as our Points of Pride student. And who did you bring with you, Braden?
My mom, my dad, my brother, and my grandma and grandpa.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right, to finish up the superintendent's report tonight, you can see the upcoming events. Tomorrow we have two different events going on. We have the elementary cheer competition as well as the Lunar New Year concert. One of them's at Williamsfield, the other at HCPA. Our business partner breakfast is Thursday, February 19th at Cooley Middle School. On February 26th, we have a school visit from Superintendency and the Board to Cooley Preschool and Middle School. And on Friday, February 27th, we have the Best Buddies Carnival at Higley High School. So this concludes the superintendent's report. And so at this time, President Wade, if it's okay, we can take a small little break to allow everyone who would like to leave at this time. We want to say thank you for being in attendance. And one more round of applause for all of our recognitions tonight. So thank you.
Who knows? Okay, next on the agenda are requests to speak. Please play the video.
We value input from our constituents. This time on our agenda has been set aside for anyone from the audience who wishes to address the board. Those that wish to speak should have filled out speaker cards, which are due prior to the start of our meeting. Members of the board may not discuss, comment, or take action on matters raised that are not specifically identified on the agenda. Therefore, pursuant to ARS 38-431.01I, action taken as a result of public comment will be limited to directing staff to study the matter, responding to any criticism, or scheduling the matter for further consideration and decision at a later date. Also, we ask that audience members practice proper public meeting decorum, refraining from either negative or positive responses, including clapping or verbal outbursts, to ensure fairness to all points of view. Those that refuse to follow these rules may be asked to leave. In accordance with Policy BEDH public participation at board meetings, if considered necessary, the governing board president shall set a time limit on the length of the comment period in order to ensure that each individual has an opportunity to address the board. The president may also set a time limit for individual speakers. Thank you for your cooperation.
First up, we have Linda Payne.
Hi, my name is Linda Payne, and I've been here several times. I want you to congratulate the district on that amazing program, especially those young special needs kids. I have a friend who works with them, and I know she puts a lot of effort and time into trying to make that program an amazing program. But it was with a lot of the other programs too. I really liked it. I just am concerned because there seems to be so much division, especially among some of the board members. And I don't know how many of you actually go back and research a lot of the things that you're discussing, but I know that in the past Anna has, and she's really researched it a lot. And I just feel like she's not here tonight, and I wish she was, because I just wanted to thank her, because as I've gone back and listened to a lot of the recordings. I've been out of town quite a bit. I know that she has really done a lot of the research, and I feel that sometimes the rest of you don't really listen to her expertise on that, because she knows how to do it. But I hope that together as a board that we can come together, because our district is falling apart. I used to have 9 children in this school district, and now I'm down to 2. Well, I'm sorry, 3. There's one that's graduating this year, but there's so many kids that are leaving the district because of what is happening. So I hope that as a district and as a board that you can really work on becoming more united instead of more divisive, and try to, like I said, these programs tonight were wonderful, but sometimes the decisions, especially one that was made last year with the dress code, when so many parents came out against it and you guys completely ignored us and went ahead and voted to have it passed. Some of you were not on the board at that time, but that was just one example. So as a board, I really hope you will, because I think the district, I've been here for 30 years, and it just seems like the whole district is kind of going downhill a little bit, and I would really like to have it go back to the freedom-loving community that we used to be, to where we were all together instead of so divided, because the parents are taking their kids to different schools because of what is happening in the district. So I hope that you'll consider that, and I thank you for what you've done. I do, because I think there's been a lot of really good programs, but I think that we need to really work on becoming more united. Thank you.
Up next, we have Noah James, it looks like Martham. I'm sorry if I did not read that right.
Oh, this one's small. Aloha, Higley Public Schools. My name is Noah James Markham. I would like to talk about Higley Schools, and as a Democrat, we need to do a better job with DEI. And if you don't know what that means, diversity, equity, inclusion. Even if we have Mormons going to these schools, these classes of Higley Public Schools, the DEI policies will make it stronger. We know that as a Democrat, what Tom Horn and the Republicans have done with the ESA vouchers and how they don't want to fund public schools around Arizona. I am sorry that people just don't know how important that funding was for Higley Public Schools. I would also like to make sure that we make sure at these public schools that all special ed kids get the accommodations they need. I have a lot of stories that my mom had to fight for in the Gilbert public school system. Another thing is, Democrats are here to stay in Gilbert and Higley. And I hear you out here and keep standing up for what is right in your school system. It is a shame that the public schools of Higley gave these students an unexcused absence for protesting their rights on campus. Shame on you, Higley Public Schools. I know not all of you guys, but whoever did it, shame. Mahalo, and thank you for listening to me tonight.
That concludes our request to speak for today. This brings up consent agenda items. I motion to approve consent agenda items 5.1 through 5.12.
Second.
That would be Ms. Jarman is seconding. All those in favor? I vote aye for the consent. Oh, wait, no, mine came up. Woohoo. Motion carries 5-0. We'd like to thank Kane's Chicken, Bridges PTO, and Baseball Boosters Club for their generous donations to the district and all its students, as well as Mr. Glover. You said you had something you wanted at this point, or did I?
Yes,
okay, great.
thank you. I just wanted to point out and thank we had track and field, we did some overnight and out-of-state travel. So track and field, softball, and I think the color guard percussion.
2027 employee contracts. 2027 employee contracts.
President Wade, members of the board, tonight information item 6.1 is our annual review of the first read of our employee contracts for the 26-27 school year.
Do we have any questions or comments from any of the board members before we move on? You have one? Okay.
I do have a quick question. Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead, Ms. Van Hook.
Okay. I'm just curious if these contracts are reviewed by legal at all?
Board Member President Wade, members of the board, yes, the contracts are submitted to legal annually to be reviewed.
Okay. There was just so many errors in them as far as titles. So I'm just curious if they reviewed them before tonight or they review them after. Thank you.
With these contracts, President Wade, sorry, with these contracts, how often do we update kind of the language? Is it just when things pass through the state, stuff like that?
Board Member President Wade, Board Member Jarman, annually the contracts are reviewed. The information in there is annually reviewed, but any changes legislatively would be taken into consideration on an annual update before they're submitted to the board for the first read.
Okay, so annual update. Also, is there any kind of, when it comes to behavior and such like that, is that in the contract or is that more behavior in the agreements and such?
No, there's language in the contract that is the expectation to abide by all governing board policies, and then within the governing board policies is language that talks about various violations of staff conduct.
Okay, and then like with legal and HR, we're utilizing the opportunities to kind of make it really clear exactly the consequences of incorrect behavior with the finances and touching base with any actions, inappropriate behaviors with the students, all that kind of stuff is covered in these. Utilize these, that way you can have more of a swifter, firm action.
Yeah, from HR perspective, the overarching staff conduct policies encumbered in the rest of the governing board policies that all employees are expected to adhere to, and then the specific consequences and the ramifications of violation of policy then is enforced through the contract by way of the governing board policy.
Okay, wonderful. So it's very transparent to them what they're signing up for and the actions for that kind of conduct. Okay, thank you so much.
All right, there's no more questions or comments. Thank you, Mr. Walker. This brings us to 6.2 fiscal year 2025 audit reports. Ms. Rushkamp, you have somebody to introduce.
Good evening, President Wade, members of the board. This evening, we are going to review our fiscal year 25 audit. That is the year that ended June 30th, 2025, although it took us till about early mid-January to get everything actually completed and printed. It is work from not only the finance department, who does a phenomenal job, but also many departments in the district provide information. So tonight, from Heinfeld Meach, that's our audit firm, Josh Jumper. He's been with the firm 17 years. He's been all 6 years I've been here auditing. I have been with Josh as well, so.
Can you hear me? Okay, great. Good evening, President Wade, board members. It's good to be here this evening to present the audit results for the year ended June 30th, 2025. I do have a few prepared slides just to keep me on track, but they will be brief, and then I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have as well for me. So just a summary of the audit. So I'm with Heinfeld Meach. We are an independent accounting firm in Arizona. We are the external auditors for the district, and the audit contract is procured through competitive proposal process following district and state rules and regulations over procurement. Fiscal 25, the year I'm presenting on, was the 4th year of the audit contract. This slide summarizes the timeline for the audit. So the audit began last May. We came on site, performed audit procedures, then we come back on site after the fiscal year end has ended in October. Additionally, from there, we prepare the audit reports, and they were issued in December of this past year. And so when we speak about the annual audit, what does that mean? So these 4 items listed here are the items that we issue as part of the annual audit for the district. So there's a communication to governance. So that's a letter that's addressed to you, the board, included in your packet. I'll touch on that in a minute. The big one is the annual comprehensive financial report. So that is the district's audited financial statements. It includes, it's the biggest document that's part of the audit, 150 or so pages, includes the district's financial statements and our audit opinion. Additionally, there's the single audit reporting package. So this is a required document that's required for reporting to the federal government over the district's spending of federal grants that the district receives. It's required to be submitted to the federal government and done annually. And then finally, the Uniform System of Financial Records Compliance Questionnaire. So this is a lengthy questionnaire that every district must have their auditors complete and submit to the Arizona Auditor General each year. So every public school district has to have this questionnaire completed by their auditors and submitted. So what is included in the scope of audit services? So we follow government auditing standards and uniform guidance, and then also to complete the USFR compliance questionnaire. What standards do we follow and what guides the annual audit? So this slide just includes a lot of different sources as to what guides the audit and audit procedures and the requirements that are included in all the reports that are issued. So federal guidance, governmental accounting standards board guidance, AICPA auditing standards, governmental auditing standards. So long story short, there's a lot of rules and regulations and laws that we have to follow as part of the annual audit. So responsibilities of auditor, as us as the external auditors, and then district management. So fraud communication, so as part of the annual audit, we inquire about knowledge of fraud or non-compliance. It's a standard audit procedure we do every year with various different employees as part of our normal audit procedures. But ultimately, the annual audit is not geared to detect fraud. And ultimately, the responsibility of fraud rests with district management and the board in the day-to-day operations. But just know, as part of the annual audit, we do ask about that. And if we become aware of anything, we can integrate it into our audit procedures. And audit responsibilities, we provide reasonable but not absolute assurance as part of an annual audit. So audit adjustments, so please report this past year there were no audit adjustments that were due to an error or an issue related to the financials. So that's something, if there was something that was a material adjustment required due to our detection, we'd have to notify you. Also, as performing the audit, we had no disagreements with management over financial accounting, reporting, or other audit matters. The representation letter that's signed at the conclusion of the audit is included in your letter to governance as an attachment. And we just are continually assessing to ensure compliance and ensuring our independence, and we're meeting our ethical requirements each and every fiscal year for under audit. So I'm not going to dig into each report into detail, but just some highlights. So the annual comprehensive financial report, again, that big one that includes the district's financial statements. So this is just a highlight of the different sections of the report. The one that we're responsible for is the independent auditor's report. It's our opinion on the financials. Our opinion was unmodified. It's the technical accounting term. The non-technical accounting term is a clean audit opinion. So meaning we provided reasonable assurance the financials are free of material misstatement. So the best opinion you can receive when having an annual audit. Single audit reporting package. So again, that's the one that's submitted to the federal government. We look over the grant, the federal dollars that flow into the district. This year, we specifically tested the child nutrition cluster, so the federal dollars that fund food service operations. I'm pleased to report we had no significant deficiencies or material weaknesses noted in this report, so no findings noted, which is important. This is what's submitted to the federal government. And then I'll end with the uniform system of financial records. Again, this is a compliance questionnaire. Every district has to have their auditors perform procedures on and submit. It includes over 170 questions of various areas of district operations. Just a few listed here. So just general management procedures, accounting records, cash and revenue procedures, procurement, student attendance processes and procedures, travel, credit, purchasing cards. So just anything that touches business operations, even a small amount, we're required to ensure we can answer the question that's being asked by the Arizona Auditor General. So there were items noted in that questionnaire, but I'm not going to specifically touch on any of them. In all my years of experience, no district has 0 comments. It's just due to the nature of human error, most commonly, and just the nature we don't audit 100% of all transactions for the district for the whole year. We do sampling each year, and sometimes it's just dependent on the sample we may derive and the transactions we review. So those were my prepared remarks, but overall the audits were submitted on time, and the audit was completed efficiently. Ms. Rushkamp and her team was very helpful in ensuring we could perform and complete all our audit procedures this past year.
Thank you. I also would like to express, I appreciate the explanation of some of those parts, Mr. Jumper, so thank you for that. Do we have any questions or comments from anybody else on the board before? Go ahead, Ms. Derman.
I'll go. President Wade, thank you so much for presenting that. Now, when you said kind of some samplings, can I get an idea of that? Because I really like to utilize this insight because I think this is going to be our big tip and clues. So can you provide more insight on the samplings? Is it a variety? Who chooses that, etc.?
Yes, thank you for the question. Sampling, so I would say first it depends on the question. So there's different areas that we have to answer the questions on. So for example, I'll use attendance. So there's some questions over student attendance and just ensuring the district is following state laws in terms of withdrawals and of students if they leave the district. They have to fill out certain forms, follow certain timelines, and so the Auditor General provides some guidance as to what sample sizes to utilize. From there, it's our audit discretion in terms of which schools, and then from there, the sample itself is just haphazard. So we're not specifically looking for certain students in this case, but it's just a haphazard selection.
Thank you. So what the Auditor General kind of pivots, how to kind of dip in those anomalies. Okay, thank you so much. Another thing that I wanted to ask you is, are there flags, or how are you notified in certain accounts? In general, I know that you can kind of get a tone and get a pulse, like anybody in their career. They have like an idea of what to look for and stuff like that. Can you expand on that and how the district is doing, maybe compared to anybody else, etc.?
Yes, thank you for the question. I would say the items noted in the questionnaire specifically this past year were things very commonly noted in questionnaires by either Higley in the past or other districts. In terms of the number of what we'd say no, so every question is a yes or a no. It's black and white. It's either, if we find one transaction that may have an error, the answer has to be answered no in the questionnaire. So knowing that, the number of no answers, I would say for Higley, are less than the average that we see in all the audits of public school districts.
Okay, thank you so much for your honesty. I really appreciate the fact that obviously we have to legally do this. The fact that we go through and we really assess, and I really think that this helps the community really know that we do our due diligence and we're pretty proactive on seeing where the anomalies, and we have very experienced people who are looking for these things. So I appreciate that. Thanks for your time.
Go ahead, Ms. No, I was going to ask who else. Go ahead, Mr.
Yeah, just one thing. Mr. Jumper, thank you for being here, and thank you, Ms. Jarman, for your comments as well, and to Ms. Rushkamp and the superintendent for taking time and also posting these documents. There's almost 200 pages that, if people are interested, that are posted on here in item 7.1 that people can look at if they need any more information or have more questions as well. So, but thank you for taking time to be here this evening.
Do we have any more questions or comments for Mr. Jumper?
I do have a couple questions. Just for the benefit of the board and the public, can you briefly explain the difference between a clean audit and a full statutory or operational compliance?
Yes, thank you for the question. So when I was referring to a clean audit opinion, that was in reference to our opinion on the financial statements, which is unmodified, which is the technical term. But clean is solely in reference to the district's audited financial statements, meaning we've provided reasonable assurance they're free of material misstatements. So that notion of clean is only a relation to the audit and the financial statements. Your other reference is probably more in relation to the USFR compliance questionnaire. And so that's to meet statutory requirements, and within the questions there are specific items noted, but those we're making no opinion or providing no opinion on that. It's truly, we sampled these transactions. If we found an error, we're required to answer no on the questionnaire and report that to the Arizona Auditor General. Now, what the Arizona Auditor General does with that is up to their discretion, and if they were to use that to ask further questions of the district, that's their prerogative. Did that answer your question?
Yes, and then when you say reasonable assurance, what are the specific limitations that would remain for the governing board to be aware of?
Well, when we say reasonable assurance, that's a common thing used in accounting terms. We do a detailed audit of the district's financial statements and are confident in our unmodified audit opinion. However, we cannot provide 100% complete assurance on it. So it's just the technical requirements. We're only allowed to provide a reasonable assurance on the financial statements.
Thank you. And then one more question. Were any of the USFR areas that you reviewed directly tied to governing board procedures or statutory duties?
Thank you for the question. I am actually looking at that section of the questionnaire right now, and no, none of those were answered no.
Perfect. All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Do you have something to say? Go ahead, Mr.
Since you're here, President Wade, let me just ask. So the whole purpose of this, I can imagine, is just to establish district's health, to see how it's running, to see if it's accommodating and kind of rolling with its budget, within its means. And then also that we're utilizing the appropriate accounts, right? That is kind of the whole purpose of this, right?
That is one of the main purposes of the questionnaire. A lot of the questions are geared towards the accounting specific in terms of the funding sources and the specific restrictions that a lot of the funds that the district has and the restrictions in terms of how you are allowed to spend those monies. A lot of our questions are in relation to that, to ensure the district is complying with the state laws and regulations that you're under.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you for your time, Mr. Jumper. I appreciate it. And I also appreciate the fact that we as a district do this. I think it helps continue to project confidence in that at the end of the day, we are doing what we are supposed to in the areas that we are supposed to be doing it. So I appreciate you and your time here today. This brings us to action items. We are on 7.1. I'm assuming we have no questions or comments from the board before I motion, but I will still give an opportunity for that. Audit approval specifically calls for a roll call vote, so please wait for your name to be called and then verbally state your vote and enter it into the portal. Does anybody have any comments before I motion? I motion to approve the fiscal year 2025 audit reports as presented.
Second.
That would be Mr. Glover seconding. Vice President Jarman?
Yay.
Board Member Tiffany Schultz? You say yay audibly, yeah, and then you can mark it in your portal.
Yay.
Board Member Scott Glover?
Yay.
Board Member Anna Van Hook?
Yay.
And Board Member Amanda Wade also is a yay. Let me look. Maybe I did it. Motion carries 5-0. This brings us to 7.2, approval of GCFC professional staff certification and credentialing requirements. This is our second read. Do we have any questions or comments from the board before I motion?
President Wade, I just want to utilize I want to make sure this is pretty clad lock in protecting the safety of the students in all the touch points, basically. And communication's a big one. So I didn't know, James, if you can help me out with this or legal, but I just want to utilize, obviously, communication through social media, text message, stuff like that. I really want to make sure that we are utilizing this document so that our staff and everybody, et cetera, know exactly what's expected.
Sure, President Wade, Vice President Jarman. This policy is actually in regards to the fingerprint clearance card criteria as indicated from the Department of Public Safety. What you're referring to about maybe misconduct through social media, that's addressed through our employee conduct and staff conduct with students policy. This one deals with being able to be cleared through DPS and not have any specific crimes in your background. And so this is our criteria before we hire a certificated employee, that they have to have a DPS fingerprint clearance card that's approved in good standing.
Okay, I appreciate that. Sorry about that. Okay, and then obviously this is a rolling background check. Like this is constantly rolling. And in this, they have to, if anything changes, they have to be proactive in letting the district know, right?
This is correct. So we are in communication with the Department of Public Safety fingerprint clearance card is issued for 7 years, and if any of the crimes that are listed in the policy presented before you are violated, then the fingerprint clearance card gets revoked or suspended, actually would be the technical term, and then DPS notifies us that there's an individual with a suspended fingerprint clearance card.
Okay, thank you. Now, legal has touched base with this, and also HR has touched base with this, and utilize this opportunity to kind of get as much in as we can, right? I want to confirm that.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I can confirm from legal, yes.
Okay, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Do we have any other questions or comments before I motion? I motion to approve GCFC professional staff certification and credentialing requirements.
Second.
That would be Ms. Schultz seconding. Motion carries 5-0. This brings us to item 7.3, approval of GDFA support staff qualifications and requirements, second read. Do I have any questions or comments from the board before I motion on this one?
I do have a question. On page 2, I had requested at the last meeting to add that no administrator or supervisor may waive the fingerprint clearance requirement except as expressly permitted by state law. And I noticed that wasn't added, but then I also noticed we removed the language that says the district may release the results of background checks and communicate whether the person has been issued or denied a fingerprint clearance card to another school district for employment purposes. And I'm curious why that was removed and why we wouldn't share that information.
President Wade, Board Member Van Hook, as far as the first inquiry, you'll notice that language has been included on page 1 in the first paragraph that no administrator may waive the requirement. In regards to the second question, we'll be happy to look into that and give further clarification as to why that language was removed.
Thank you for the first part. I missed that portion completely. But yes, if you can please let us know, because I believe that that was in there last time, and that wasn't recommended to be removed, but it was. But what do we do for tonight since this is an action item?
Yes, Ms. Van Hook, will you do me a favor just so I can write it down so I can follow along? What part is it that you're talking about that was switched?
So on page 2, it's where it says the district may release the results of a background check.
I'm just reading the second paragraph that's underneath it so we can see as far as language that is changing one way or the other. So just give me a minute.
Yeah, and it wasn't like combined with another paragraph. It was just the whole paragraph was completely removed.
I mean, right now, as far as legal, at the end of the day, I still don't understand. I mean, this wouldn't be any of our employees, so I still think that we have the capability of passing it, and we can ask our inquiry, and then per legal, at the worst that happens, we can bring this policy back up to make that change if there was some sort of something that should not have been done. Considering we've had legal look at it multiple times between here and now, my assumption is there is a logical reason for it that we can ask when.
Well, the appropriate thing would be to table it and then bring it back for approval instead of approving it and then bringing it back to change. But that language was in there at the last meeting and it was not requested to be removed. And And I think it's appropriate to table it to find out why it was removed and then bring it back for approval.
So I can follow up to find out why this language was removed. As Board President Wade did state, we could move forward with the agreement, and to the extent the language wants to be added back in, that is an easy fix and amendment at a future meeting. It wouldn't necessarily require us to delay adopting this tonight. So to the extent the board would like to implement the policy, the substance of the policy, and update it at a later date with that additional language, we can do that.
Ms. Fowler, also just to make sure as we go through, the part specifically that we're talking about wouldn't be any of our current employees. These would be individuals who would be going elsewhere. So as far as the ability for us to adopt this policy, should we have to, at the end of the day, we are still adopting all things that are for any staff member, whether they are certified or not. In this case, this would be not certified staff, are following the appropriate fingerprint clearance requirements. Every staff is required to have all of that. All of that is still encompassed within this policy. The specific language that may or may not be added back is talking about any employee that has left the district and is elsewhere, and whether or not we as a district release that information. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Thank you.
Yes, and that is correct. I just, what concerns me is if, let's say, somebody was denied a fingerprint card and now they're going to, for whatever reason, let's say there was a crime committed, and now they're going to another district, and it's not in our policy that we should convey this information to the new district.
Well, I think
that's a
policy,
concern.
Sorry for talking over you. I thought
It's okay.
I completed your thought. Well, concerning the policy and the language in question, it's discretionary. It says the district may release the information, so the removal of it doesn't prevent the district from ultimately releasing that information anyhow.
President Wade, Ms. Fowler, it also says when the former employee has requested the information be provided as well in there. So it's, if they were trying to hide something, wouldn't they not request it? Does that make right?
Well, it's saying, Ms. Schultz, correct me if I'm wrong in summarizing what you're just expressing. It's also, the language expresses that the employee can ask for it.
Right.
But to cover that basis.
It says when the former employee has requested the information be provided.
Correct, but it is also
if.
state law that any person who comes into contact with a child, whether that is a certified teacher or not, no matter what district you are in, should go through the fingerprint clearance card. So at the end of the day, right now, with our policies and the way things are, if there was an employee who was a former employee of ours and either did not get their fingerprint clearance card or it was revoked, that other new school district would also have equal access to that information because they are legally bound to check that. So again, I appreciate for the clarification. Go ahead, Ms. Van Hook.
That was me, actually.
All right. Sorry, Mr. Walker.
Members of the board, what I can certainly say is that we've yet to encounter a scenario that exists along these lines where a district or an individual would contact us for the results. I certainly would say within the next couple days of seeking clarification, if that were to arise, we would not withhold or not disclose information that we were in receipt of. We would immediately contact council and be able to come up with whatever decision is necessary. So for what it's worth, I understand the concern about not being able to disclose something that we should be able to. I think we can definitely get that hashed out, and if we want to table it, that would be certainly a decision the board would like to make. But if we do decide to move forward with the policy, we would still be immediately keeping an eye on the situation until we get it rectified.
Thank you. And I'm not in disagreement of voting yes on it, but I would like to be able to bring that back and add that language back in because I think it's important to have. Thank you.
Mr. Lotzenheiser, can we get in status essentially a response with respect to that? That way before the next meeting when it comes to setting up an agenda or whatever, depending on what legal expresses, can kind of help us go through with that process?
Yes.
Sweet. Thank you, Mr. Lotzenheiser. So with that, I'm going to motion then. All right, great. I motion to approve GDFA support staff qualifications and requirements.
Second.
That would be Ms. Schultz seconding. Motion carries 5-0. This brings us to future agenda items. Does anyone have any requests for future agenda items besides the one that we just got on our last action item?
I do not.
OM goodness. That brings us to the end, everybody. I motion to adjourn this meeting.
Second.
That would be Ms. Jarman seconding. Everybody vote. Motion carries 5-0. Everybody please drive safe.
Good
Thank
night.
you for coming out.